The rain hammered against the windows of the old Victorian house like accusatory fingers, each drop a reminder of the years Clara had poured into its walls. She sat in the dim living room, the glow of her phone screen casting shadows on her wrinkled face. The group chat buzzed with excitement. Photos of plane tickets, hotel bookings, laughter emojis from her 3 children, Emily, the ambitious lawyer, Mark, the perpetual dreamer, and Sophie, the youngest, always the peacemaker. The family reunion in Hawaii, a dream they'd talked about for years. Funded, of course, by the savings Clara had scrimped and saved from her late husband's pension and her own part-time jobs, but as she scrolled, her heart plummeted. No invitation for her. Just a casual mention, "Can't wait to relax without the drama," from Emily. Clara's fingers trembled as she typed, "Am I not coming?" The responses came fast, laced with excuses. "Mom, it's just us kids this time. You'd be bored with all the activities. We used the money you gave us, thanks, by the way." The betrayal sliced deeper than any knife. She'd given them everything, college tuitions, down payments on houses, even bailing Mark out of his failed business ventures. And now, at 68, widowed and alone, she was the forgotten matriarch. That night, Clara didn't sleep. Instead, she wandered the house, touching the faded photos on the mantel. Her husband, Robert, smiling with the kids, family holidays where she'd been the glue holding it all together. But glue wears thin. By dawn, a fire ignited in her chest, not rage, but resolve. She would sell the house. Start over. Leave them to their ingratitude. 2 weeks later, the "for sale" sign stood like a sentinel in the front yard. Clara ignored the frantic calls from her children. "Mom, what are you doing?" Emily demanded over voicemail. "That's our childhood home." Mark texted pleas about memories. Sophie sent tearful emojis. Clara packed only what she needed, a few books, Robert's old watch, and the deed to a modest property she'd inherited from an aunt, a rundown cottage in the coastal town of Whispering Cove, Oregon. The sale closed quickly. The money was hers now, not theirs. The drive to Whispering Cove took 3 days, the Pacific Ocean emerging like a promise on the horizon. The town was a forgotten gem, misty beaches, craggy cliffs, and a main street lined with weathered shops. Her cottage overlooked the sea, its paint peeling like old skin. Clara wasted no time. With part of the proceeds, she bought the empty storefront next door, a dusty space that had once been a bake shop. She transformed it into Clara's Cove Books, filling shelves with second-hand novels, mysteries, and forgotten classics. The grand opening was quiet, just a handwritten sign and free coffee. But in a town of misfits, word spread. First came Elias, a grizzled fisherman with a limp from a long-ago shipwreck. He lingered over sea adventure tales, sharing stories of storms that swallowed men whole. Then Lila, a young artist fleeing a bad marriage, who painted murals on the walls in exchange for a reading nook. Old Mr. Hargrove, the reclusive inventor, brought gadgets that doubled as bookends. and young Theo, a runaway teen with a knack for poetry, who helped stock shelves after school. They weren't blood, but they became her chosen family, gathering for evening readings, sharing secrets over tea. Clara reinvented herself. Mornings, she walked the beach, collecting seashells that she turned into bookmarks. Afternoons, the bookstore hummed with life. For the first time in decades, she felt seen, not just as a provider, but as Clara, the woman who loved stories, who dreamed of writing her own, but whispers of the past lingered. Strange letters arrived at the shop, anonymous notes slipped under the door. You can't run from family. Secrets sink ships. At first, Clara dismissed them as pranks from local kids. Then, one night, she found the back window shattered, books scattered like fallen soldiers. The police chalked it up to vandalism, but Clara's gut twisted. Was it coincidence, or had her children found her? Suspense built like the fog rolling in from the sea. Clara started noticing shadows, a figure watching from the cliffs, a car idling too long outside the shop. She confided in Elias, who patrolled the beaches with his old binoculars. Town's got its ghosts, he grumbled, but this feels personal. One stormy evening, as thunder rattled the windows, a customer entered just before closing. Hooded against the rain, they browsed the mystery section. Clara felt a prickle on her neck. When the figure turned, it was Sophie, her youngest daughter, eyes wide and pleading. "Mom," Sophie whispered, dropping her hood. "I had to find you." Clara's heart raced. Sophie explained, she'd come alone, driven by guilt. The reunion had been a disaster, arguments over money, revelations of how they'd manipulated Clara's generosity. Emily had orchestrated the exclusion, claiming Clara was too fragile. But Sophie wanted to reconcile. "Please, Mom. Let me stay. Help with the shop." Clara hesitated. Forgiveness? Possible, maybe. But forgetting? The notes, the break-in, were they Sophie's doing, a twisted way to force contact? Or something darker? As days passed, Sophie integrated seamlessly. She charmed the misfits, organized book clubs, even helped repair the broken window. But Clara couldn't shake the unease. Late nights, she'd hear footsteps upstairs in the cottage. One morning, she found an old photo album, hidden away in her attic, rifled through, pages of Robert's death certificate missing. The suspense deepened when Elias pulled Clara aside. "That car I saw?" Traced the plates. "It's rented under your daughter's name, Emily's." Clara's blood ran cold. Was Emily here too? Stalking, scheming to reclaim the inheritance, confronting Sophie led to tears. "I didn't tell them where you were. But Emily's been calling, demanding I spy." Sophie confessed, the family was in debt. Mark's latest venture had failed spectacularly, involving shady loans. They needed Clara's remaining money. The notes? Emily's handiwork, meant to scare Clara back home, but there was more, a twist buried in the past. Digging through the album, Clara uncovered letters from Robert. He'd suspected the children of emotional manipulation even before his death from a heart attack. Whispers of poison? No, impossible. Yet, a toxicology report Clara had never seen hinted at anomalies. The climax came on a moonless night. A knock at the door revealed Emily and Mark, faces stormy. "Mom, this nonsense ends now. Sell the shop, come home." They cornered her, demands turning to threats. Sophie stood frozen, torn. In the chaos, Clara's new family arrived. Elias with his harpoon, Lila with a hidden pepper spray, Theo alerting the police. The confrontation unearthed truths. Mark had forged documents to siphon Clara's savings years ago. Emily had covered it up. Robert's death? Accidental, but fueled by stress from their greed, Clara faced them, voice steady. "Family isn't blood, it's choice. You've chosen manipulation. I choose forgiveness, but from afar." She handed them a check, enough to settle debts, nothing more. "Now leave." As they departed, defeated, Sophie stayed. Tentative bridges built, not on forgetting, but understanding. Clara's bookstore thrived, suspense giving way to serenity. The sea whispered promises of new beginnings, and Clara, the forgotten matriarch no more, wrote her own ending.